don't y'all know that they program this in y'all kids?
It's called grooming.
Yeah, they putting it in the cartoons. They putting it in all of the MCU and the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It's definitely spicy.
Superman is gay. Why?
Yes,
Why?
they put it in.
Superman
They
gay.
put it in. They put it in the earliest of cartoons back when we was growing up, right? And so they're programming
Real
y'all.
feelings with hearts who are good and do good in the community. And just because they are naturally attracted to something that is off from the norm, you know, people in the on the far side of you know the right wing feel like they don't deserve to have a voice. They don't deserve to be seen, and that them being seen is actually obscene, and it shouldn't be. Like, y'all are talking against people who deserve to be loved. That is divisive. If I love my sister to death and she is gay, and you don't think that she should have rights or even exist, or she should be shunned because of how she naturally feels, why would I want to be connected to you?
I don't think
But
we're saying that.
Trigger,
What we're saying is when their happiness is now more important than the majority. That's what we're saying. I don't care what you do in your bedroom, but when you're trying to force it on the whole society, like
Everybody's not doing that.
some places don't even have a word for gay because it doesn't exist.
I can't. My son can't even watch
That
certain
you know who are in that community do not agree with pushing that on us to other people.
Trigger, you did a whole monologue, but you're wrong. They are pushing that shit on us.
They are pushing it.
Cartoons. Every show got a gay couple.
Show.
Men.
They're pushing it on the world.
Welcome back. Be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a video.
What's going on, family? Welcome back. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Anton Daniels. He asked his panel a question that I thought was really good, and I wanted to share with you guys to get your opinion and also share my opinion as well. But the topic of this video was, is society reprogramming men to be gay? So we're going to take a look at that here. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on your notifications. And as we're watching this video, definitely comment below and let me know your thoughts. But I'll share my thoughts at the end, but let's go ahead and jump into it.
Like, I just did a panel talk in my barbershop, and here's a big example. It's a big difference between black men and black women, even when it comes to voting. Like, majority of black men, like I said, Anton, here in Nashville, in the South, Tennessee, most heterosexual black men are voting conservative right now. I'm telling you. It's a big movement now. And it's before Trump even got involved. It's really because of even when Obama was in and we seen them pass certain things, we were like, hold on, this ain't. And also, we still very, very tied to the church down here. So we are, to be honest with you, black folks are really naturally conservative, but we fighting against our own self when we go towards the liberal side or anything like that, because it's going to conflict your religion, to be honest with you. So down here, you still got.
I don't think that we have no real beliefs anymore, honestly.
Okay.
Nah, it's kind of like a free fall. Like, believe it's open for real. Like, don't nobody have solid beliefs that they stick to, and they like, this what I stick to, this what it is. Like, you gonna bend it a little bit. It don't matter what your initial beliefs were. You've bent your beliefs over the years.
I agree with you on that, Kenny, because when I just think about Kamala in general, she got a position she did not earn. And when you think of men at their core, men teaching their sons, it's like you need to earn what you get.
Yeah.
Don't expect the world to give you something. So just at its core base level, the fact that there are so many, because on my feed, unfortunately, there are a lot of black men who do support women and Kamala, and I really think that they're afraid to not. And so for me, I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow, this is hard to swallow, not because you're voting for somebody I don't agree with, but the principle behind it, it seems like you have none. And that's sad for me, that a man doesn't have strong enough principles where he's willing to stand up and say something, even if it makes his wife or his girlfriend or his sister or his mom or his cousin upset or unhappy. It just seems like they're kind of going along to get along. Because
but that's where I'm at, Carrie. That's what I see too.
Yeah. Nobody's giving sound reason for following her. And usually women give the emotional reason. I feel like it because she's a woman. I'm not used to all these men just I'm just going with it because it's not Trump. I'm just
These
like,
men are feminists.
And to pretty much piggyback off of what she just said and sticking with just the Black community, this is one of the personal reasons I have an issue with the Democratic Party. And it's because if you don't align or agree with anything that that party does, you're automatically shamed, you're automatically judged, you're criticized just because you disagree with a lot that they have done or some of the things that they've done over the years. And specifically speaking to the Black community, being a Black man, I can't understand why anyone who is Black and who supports the Democratic Party, how they could be so quick to shame and to judge someone who is Black who doesn't necessarily support the Democratic Party. You don't necessarily have to support the Republican Party, but it's the fact that you don't back the Democratic Party. Now you are outcasted because 80-something, 85% of Blacks support the party automatically. I think that's a problem in itself because this is exactly why we never get anything done specifically for our demographic. It's always excuses. It's always pushed to the side. We'll get to you next, but it never happens.
So I feel like I see a lot of men acquiescing to their women when we're talking about Black men. Not to say that it's a good thing, but it's because, like, even for me, it is hard to have political conversations with somebody who does not have the same political views as you. Even though I can have that conversation and be objective. I've been blocked. I've been like, this is from age groups of 30-plus-year-old men and women. They can't have the conversation. So I think these men are unfortunately in fear of the reactiveness of the women in their families. Like, I've seen wives literally say that on TikTok they're leaving their husbands because they're for Trump. Like,
we're gonna talk about that later.
Wow.
Okay. But yeah, like there
I want to say something. Can I say something, guys?
Yeah, true. You go after Cam. Wait till Cam's done.
Go ahead, Cam. Sorry about that.
No worries. But yeah, there's like literally conversations on social media. I've had personal conversations with people. They are eradicating people out of their personal lives due to their political views without even having the conversation. So I think that even, again, not that it's right, but I think that some of the men are just kind of acquiescing to whatever the women in their family are saying because of their fear of retaliation and reactiveness to what they really do believe in. But, you know, again, that is also a problem because they should be speaking up, and I think they should stand on what they believe in, and that'll help them get that masculinity back.
Go ahead, Trigger.
It's really divisive because it really has to do with everything you stand for, and it really has to do with how you treat people and how you view people and how you respect people, right? Like if we really went down this path of you know, let's outlaw the gay people or let's shun the gay people, like, you guys don't understand that this is against human rights, right? Like, you're saying that these people, because of who they are naturally attracted to, they shouldn't have rights. They shouldn't have the rights that other people have. And that is divisive because these people are good people who are good brothers, good sisters, good dads, good moms. They are people, real feelings with hearts, who are good and do good in the community. And just because they are naturally attracted to something that is off from the norm, you know, people on the far side of you know, the right wing feel like they don't deserve to have a voice. They don't deserve to be seen, and that them being seen is actually obscene, and it shouldn't be. Like, y'all are talking against people who deserve to be loved. That is divisive. If I love my sister to death and she is gay, and you don't think that she should have rights or even exist, or she should be shunned because of how she naturally feels, why would I want to be connected to you?
I don't think we're saying that. What we're saying is when their happiness is now more important than the majority. That's what we're saying. I don't care what you do in your bedroom, but when you're trying to force it on the whole society. Like,
Everybody's not doing that.
yes, they
Some places
are.
don't even have
Yeah.
a
Yes,
word for
they
gay
are.
because it doesn't exist.
I can't. My son can't even
People
watch
that
certain
you know who are in
cartoons
that
because
We got
community
through one mic.
do
We
not
got through one
agree
mic.
with
Trigger,
pushing it
trigger,
on
hold
us to
on,
other
hold on.
people.
Trigger. You did a whole monologue, but you're wrong. They are pushing that shit on us.
they are pushing it. It
Cartoons.
doesn't.
Every show got a gay
Every
couple.
show.
Men.
They're
kissing.
pushing it on the world. They are. They would
whole
not
world.
fund parts of Africa. Kamala Harris would not fund parts of Africa because they
Yes.
would not go along with the
Yes.
LGBT
They're
alphabet
against human
agenda.
rights.
All right, they're about to get into the meat of the topic here, but I wanted to address something that Trigger said. A lot of Democratic followers have the mindset that she has, that if you are not for the Democratic Party, then you must be far right, where you have a problem with gays, you don't want to see gays together, you don't want to see gay marriage legal, and so on. But that is not the case. A lot of issues that Black conservatives have and a lot of Black independent voters have with the Democratic Party is simply the fact that they are influencing and pushing certain behaviors onto children. And I think that's crossing the line. When you're starting to talk about sexual things and sexual feelings in books and promoting it on kids' clothing and so on, kids at that young age shouldn't even be thinking about sex or be thinking about what their sexual desires are. That shouldn't even be in the equation at a young age. And it shouldn't even be in the mind of a child at a young age. So that's where I draw the line and I say, all right, we're going too far with this, but let's get back to the video.
And you
That is not a human right because first off, some places don't even. It's not a thing to them. It does not exist because they were not
But
brainwashed
how are
into
you gonna
believing
say
it.
it's not
Hold
a
on, but
We
wait.
just being
Let me say this.
homosexual
feels
was
that
just
way
a mental
exists.
illness
Let me say
several
this,
years
and then
ago.
let me say this, and then I'm
It's
gonna
a thing.
This is
pull
not
Q back.
natural.
I'm
We're
gonna
not
pull
gonna.
Q back
I
up.
can't
Let
do.
me
I'm not
just
about
say
to sit
this.
here and pretend like this is natural.
I'm gonna pull Q up. I just want to say this real quick. Don't y'all know that they program this in y'all kids?
It's called grooming.
Yeah, they putting it in the cartoons. They putting it in all of the MCU and the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It's definitely spicy.
Superman is gay. Why?
Yes,
Why?
they put it in.
Superman
They
gay.
put it in. They put it in the earliest of cartoons back when we was growing up, right? And so they're programming y'all. Kamala Harris, in order to make sure that and she said this on her own, in order to make sure that she secured relationship with United States and African countries, she went over there to promote them embracing homosexuality, which that is not something that those nations even embrace. And one of the places that she championed her pushing it for in Ghana, and they still rejected it.
Yep.
And so when you saying that they not doing this and who naturally love who, let me tell you something. Over in California, they had legislation that they was introducing that basically leapfrogged off of the same argument that you're saying. You said people can't help who they love. So what they're starting to do, and you can't pick and choose, what they're starting to do is introduce legislation and they advocating for, well, if you can't help who you love, why are we condemning people that say that they like children? If you're born with it and you can't control who you like, why would we then condemn people that say that they actually are attracted to little children?
Yep.
All right. Did y'all catch what Anton just said right there? You know, that's what I was talking about as far as the lines are being blurred. You know, if you're going to allow minors to be able to be in touch with their sexuality at a very young age, use puberty blockers, and to discuss their sexual feelings and thoughts, then what is there to stop anyone if a child is saying that they have feelings for an adult and that adult has feelings for that child? You know, that's where we're heading next. Because if you're allowing children to become in touch with their sexuality, then there's not going to be any limits or any lines when it comes to a minor and an adult. You know, that's where we're heading next, guys. And that's just a dangerous place to have society at, where you're allowing adults and minors that have consensual relationships. I mean, if a child is able to decide if they can take puberty blockers or not, and to decide on what sexuality they are, who's to say that, you know, they can't be or they're not in love or have feelings for this adult man or whatnot? It's Pandora's box that we're opening. I know it's very hard to fathom and to picture, you know, pedophilia being legal, but, you know, not too long ago, most of society didn't believe. I know it was hard for me to believe that, you know, they were really trying to push for puberty blockers to become accessible to minors, but here we are. This is a reality. This is options that are being pushed on the youth. And I just can't go along with that. If a child is going to eventually become gay or, you know, transgender, whatever the case may be, I just believe that it should happen naturally and they should be able to make that decision once they become an adult. But when you're able to make these decisions as a minor, these adult decisions as a minor, and that minor, you know, eventually grows up to become an adult, and if they decide that it was a phase that they were going through, it's too late once you take puberty blockers. There's no going back from that. And that could have very harmful mental health issues and other issues as well. But I want to share with you guys my thoughts a little bit more. You know how I feel about reparations and the debt that's owed to Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. But I also wanted to give a little bit more input and discuss with you about other issues that I have. I do not agree with anything being pushed on the minors. All right, fam, definitely leave a comment below. Let me know how you feel. Do you think that there's an agenda being pushed on society? Do you agree with me, or do you have another idea on exactly what's going on? But definitely share it below. Appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out and checking out today's video. Subscribe and turn on your notifications if you haven't already. I am going to be dropping more videos throughout the week with discussions like this, and I want to be able to hear your input and engage with you. But thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.
Excellent. Be sure to like the video to support the channel. And definitely share your experiences and insights in the comment section. Subscribe and turn on your notifications so we don't miss you.